Alright, hey cyber family. I've been asked to do a quick tutorial on how I cover my eyebrows, and so I'm going to show you really quickly the three things that I use, if I can find them here on my station. Okay, so first thing I use is Ben Nye Matte Spirit Gum. I don't know if you can see it. I'm using my cell phone camera, so this isn't going to be like the best quality. I also use Kryolan. What is this shit called? Eyebrow plastic. Okay. And last but not least, this is a really dirty bottle, but Mayron Fixative A. Alright, so basically what I did before I got here this evening was I brushed my eyebrows up, I trimmed them, brushed them down, trimmed them. When I got here, I kind of shaped them up or, you know, cut them down just a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a couple of generous coats of the Spirit Gum. And if I drop out of the camera, I apologize, I'm going into my mirror down here. Okay, I'm just applying this very generously, and I'm brushing my eyebrows in an upward direction because I know that that's how they lay down the best for me. And same thing with the other one. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is like a fresh bottle of Spirit Gum, so it's very loose at this point. It's much better to use after you've had it for a little while and it's kind of gotten a little thicker and you know, just a little bit thicker right out the bottle. Right now it's really liquidy, so gotta work with it a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this this is actually a liquid eyeliner container that I got from the beauty supply store, and I'm just going to roll this over the area to try to make the Spirit Gum tacky. As you can kind of possibly hear and you can see, it's starting to get a little stringy. You can kind of see my skin starting to pull up a little bit when the roller goes over my eye area. Okay. Once again, since this is still kind of in a really thin liquid state, I'm going to do a second layer of the Spirit Gum. And I'm being a little messy with it because I wanted to go a little bit above the eyebrow area and a little bit below it. And once again, I'm really trying to get the eyebrows the hairs to go in an upward fashion so that they lay down nice and smoothly. Alright, so I'm kind of happy with that at this point. And I'm just going to go back over it with my little container here. Now, when you're rolling over it, you may notice that your eyebrows start to kind of follow the direction that you're rolling. Don't worry about that too much. If you follow the routine the same way that I do, and you'll see here in a second why. All right, there we go. So got a pretty good layer of glue. Now I'm going to take my brow wax and using it directly just like this, I've just kind of peeled it back over time. I'm just going to use it and I'm going to apply it in an upward direction over my eyebrows. And of course, the more I use it and I apply it, I guess I should come up a little bit so you can see. The more I use it and apply it, the softer it gets. Now, some people like to warm it. I don't like to warm it. I like to really, you know, get it on there. And so I have a nice little light layer right now. So I'm going to do it now is I'm just going to take my thumbnail and get a little bit on my thumb, okay? And I'm going to apply it to the eyebrow. As y'all can hear, my cast members are cackling in the background about something. Okay. So once again, just taking my thumbnail and applying it once again in the upward direction to make my eyebrows lay down. Okay. You could work with it a little bit more, or you can do however much coverage you want. I mean, you're not really trying to cover them completely at this point, so it's not important to use the wax to completely conceal them. But you do want to put on enough wax to make them lay down. Wax them heifers into submission, honey. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, since it's me and it's my face, I'm just going to kind of lick my finger and smooth the area over a little bit, just to make sure that everything is good and smooth. Well, little saliva, never hurt nobody. I've got a little bit of excess, a little excess up in this area, so I'm just going to use my nail to just kind of scrape it off. Okay. I'm just going to go back over the area, make sure that I'm brushing the eyebrows in the right direction, and then kind of pull any excess off the skin. Same thing on the other side. Once again, scraping any excess off that upper area. And then just wetting my finger again. And going back over the area. Put my trash bag over there to the side. Okay? Now what I'm going to do finally is use the Mehron Fixative A to seal the area. Also be mindful that the more wax that you use, the softer the area is actually going to remain, so if you actually bump into it or hit it, it may shift. So, right. And I'm just applying a thin layer of the Fixative A. I've actually got some more of this on order because I'm about to run out. Okay. Alright. All of this stuff is fairly inexpensive and can be found on Amazon.com. That's where I actually got most of mine. So I mean, all three items are maybe about $15. So this is not a lot of money, and for me it's worth it. Because I cannot stand having to shave my eyebrows off. So once again, just going over. Hi, JR.
Oh.
That's my show director walking behind me as I do my tutorial. Okay. Yeah, okay. I just arched my eyebrows and kind of burned there. Alright, so I'm just going to let that dry for a hot second. Literally, a very hot second. Alright, so I still want it kind of tacky, so I'm not going to have it dry too much. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sponge, and I love my dirty little sponge, so don't judge me, and use some of my powder. And I'm just going to, oh, got a message. Apply that over the area that I just covered my eyebrows. Okay. And I'm just going, and you see I'm, generously applying the powder at this point. Okay. Go back and get just a little bit more. And I'm going to apply the powder, and I'm really going to press the area down to make sure that it's good and covered. And if I feel any tackiness or any resistance when I go to lift the sponge, I know I need to go back over that area with more powder because it's not covered properly. Or, yeah. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Get a little bit more powder. And just really press. Put a little more powder right there. All right, I'm just really pressing. Okay. And I mean, when I tell you I'm really pressing, I'm really kind of pressing. I'm pressing pretty hard. You want a good amount of pressure because you want everything that you've kind of put on in layers to kind of adhere together. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my brush bag. I need to go get some more hairspray, and I forgot to. Just going to take one of my brushes. This just happens to be my 109 brush by MAC, and just going to brush the excess away. Alright, and that's it. That's how I cover my eyebrows with the Spirit Gum Brow Wax and Fixative A. And they're pretty much down, and they're pretty much concealed right now. Like from this angle, you really can't see them, or at least I don't think you can see them. I know you can see this big pimple on my forehead. But that's how I cover my eyebrows. This method works better for me because I am a heavy sweater. And unfortunately, the glue stick would usually pop up on me, or I would get liquid bubbles underneath the glue stick. So this works for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, comment, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you may have. And at this point, it's time for me to finish putting on my face. And yeah, smooches, guys. See you later. Alright guys, so just coming back to you real quick. I just put my foundation on, and yes, I do wear 3 different tones of foundation. I think this is the right sponge. And as you can see, the area is almost totally covered. Hi Iris.
Who are you doing tutorials for?
Doing a tutorial on how to cover my eyebrows.
Oh, well, it's gonna do a set a world record. What time is it? We're gonna see how fast Miss Gay Tennessee America can get into Gish tonight.
Right.
It's 10:32. I have less than an hour.
Okay, this is not about you.
Well, tutorial on how to be a sickening queen in an hour.
We'll follow up with that to see how it looks. So anyway, this is them covered up. This is just foundation level before the powder goes on. So as you can see, they're pretty much covered up. You see just a little bit of texture, but by the time I get done putting on all my eyeshadow and everything, that will be hopefully totally concealed. And yeah, so want to blend this out just a little bit more, powder down, and then start my rest of my face process. So thank you much for tuning in. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, send me a message, or whatever the case may be, and I'll do my best to get back in touch with you. Oh, let me put my powder on before this foundation keeps moving. Smooches!